Kicking up dust, spinning tires, it's a dirt track show. Lenses focused, inches roll.
All right, everybody, we are back with episode number 30, I think. You know, I should be able to count these bad boys. We haven't done that many of them yet. The Woah Show, we're back at it again, brought to you by Burnin Hollow Sauce Company. Best sauce in the game, more on them later. And also, our friends at PPMS, they're a special sponsor / we're promoting them. Pot of Gold is this weekend, Saturday, March 15th. The rain date, March 22nd. Super late. And Crown Vics, oh my. We're going to be partying down in Pittsburgh. We'll be going to that. Joining my show today, the only go-kart driver on the Woah Nellie driver roster. She is 1/8 of the Squid Squad. She is in Derek, Mr. Carpy's, Derek Carpoletti's opinion, the best TikTok in the entire world. She just started a new social media marketing brand. We have so much more to talk about since the last time we talked. Kaydan, what's going on?
How are you, Nellie? I'm doing good.
What's up, big dog? I can basically hear you from my apartment. If people didn't know, we are neighbors, but we're not doing this one in person. We did the first one in person, and I think it was the only other one other than when we did the mall show interviews that were done in person. So that was an experiment. We'll have to experiment with it again at the tracks this year, but let's get into it. How was your season last season, old KB?
As many of you probably know, I hit a truck, probably my second race, I believe. So it started off really rough. I mean, I definitely wasn't expecting to have my go-kart fly into a truck and almost hit little kids and, But, we turned it around. I don't even know how many wins I had. I feel like I'm not in race mode right now. We're getting back into it, but I don't even know. I can't even tell you. But it went good. It went all right. New kart this year, so that's exciting. So I guess we'll see how it goes.
Tell me the full story about getting your kart running away, because maybe not everybody has heard it yet.
So, I'm at KB Speedway, and I was, doing hot laps, and it was a little rocky. I liked that track, but it was a little rocky that day, beginning of the season, and I finished second, and I'm coming off the track, and my motor stalled. So I'm like, all right, well, I gotta start this off, because their scales are super tiny. You can't, walk across it. So I'm like, all right. So I'm in my seat, and I, start her up, and it goes. So I'm like, oh my God. So I hurry up and, jump out of it. And I'm kind of just standing there with my, hands on my hips as my go-kart is flying across, and I didn't even say anything. I didn't say, watch out. I didn't say anything. Luckily, the kids that were playing in dirt where the go-kart went moved to the other side of the trailer. So, and then it just went right underneath a big lifted truck. And so, my dad saw my pink helmet. I don't know where my pink helmet was. I think I ran over there, and he thought I was dead inside underneath this truck, but I was not. I made it out alive, thankfully.
Well, that was interesting. I have the half of the nose piece. My face, unfortunately, didn't make it out of the accident, but it's pretty cool to have the wounds. Pittsfield Track Championship. Let's talk about that. You went from no wins to 12 wins the next year. Most Improved Driver of the Year for Woah Nellie. Got the award.
Yes.
And then you won the track championship the next year.
I did. And 2023, I believe I got third. I won, 12 out of the 14 races. And that's just because I missed a week. So they made a new rule just in general to drop a week. So I ended up showing up every week in 2024, and we competed well with Nick. And yeah, I won the points championship. So that's exciting. Something we haven't done, and that's one of our goals that my dad and I wanted to do, is win a points championship. We've only been at this 4 years. So I'm going to get it done in that time frame. I think is pretty good.
No big deal. Just track champion 4 years in. Most people, 4 years in are thinking about winning a heat race.
Yeah.
And you're out here winning a track championship, doing a little bit of traveling. So what's on the docket this year for 2025 for the kart game?
So in 2025, I have a new go-kart. It's the new Elevate. I haven't really said much about it. I'm actually in a partnership, not partnership, but I'm racing for Tim K's I'm going up to a open wing kart. I actually won that my first night ever in it for a feature. So, I mean, that was exciting. I'm going up to the big dogs, and that will be every Friday night at Pittsfield. And then probably going to travel a little bit, get into some Reaper, maybe some Burris. I'm not a big fan, but I know you don't like talking tires, so we're going to not discuss that today.
It's a sensitive issue currently around here, and
Yeah.
everybody has their opinion.
It might hurt our viewers' feelings depending if you're from upstate or, down here. So we're not going to talk about that. And then I have my little nephew, Zayden. He's named after me. He's going to start racing. So obviously we got to kind of train him a little bit. So I'm excited for that. Zayden, Kaydan, but I don't know. We'll see where the season goes.
I'm excited to see it. Hopefully get down to Pittsfield more. Last year, you and Ryan Lewis kind of inspired the first ever Woah Nellie Kart race. You didn't fare too well. 375 clone. Mind you, when we signed up for this, this is going to be funny. We've been doing go-kart photos for a year at Stateline Karts, on and off again at AMS and all over.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Lewis posted something on Facebook, and I think I messaged you. I'm like, should I do this? Can you run in this? Because I don't know. And this is probably the funniest thing is I don't know the differences in most kart classes other than one's a Predator motor, one's clone, and one has a wing on it. And I know those ones are the outlaw karts because they have wings. And, I kind of got schooled up on that. What was it like having a full field and having a big show at Pittsfield? Because it seems like they don't do that very often.
I mean, I feel like in 2023, there's a lot of karts normally weekly, like 14, 15, and we just ran them all. So, I mean, I've been in those shoes before, obviously, at Stateline, their money races, and competing to get a good starting lineup. Obviously, knowing that, not to be cocky, that I do very well there. I knew I had a lot going on my shoulder with all the out-towners coming in. I didn't really expect my tire to fall off, so that really could have put a stamper to my day, But it was definitely wild. I was going into, I don't even know, it was the start, and I was going in, I was like, oh my god, so many people are flying around. You got this guy up here. And I think, is that the race I got in a little situation, too, where...
In the heat of the game, every drop counts. Introducing Victory Fuel Flavored Electrolyte Water, the ultimate hydration companion.
Silly Bowl champion Logan Seavey, ASCS National Champion Seth Bergman.
Packed with essential electrolytes and bursting with delicious flavor, Victory Fuel keeps you hydrated and fueled to perform at your best. Nothing tastes better than victory.
Yeah, you had some words. KB's a little rough out there, even though she won't admit it, but that's why we like her. She elbows up. She'll, if you're slow, you better get out of her way, or she'll make you get out of your way.
I think I was
But
at
yeah,
fault here, but it's
that night, her tire fell off. She's big pissed, right? She's out of the cart. She's looking at old Ronnie boy. She's like,
it gets worse.
you had one job. I think you were yelling at him because it was you're supposed to tighten those.
Well, I knew. I was like, okay, well, we're racing, what was that, 375? I don't even know if anybody knows this or if you know this. So, my tire falls off. I don't even think I was the one to tighten the wheels, but, my dad's pointing the finger at me. So I'm pissed. So I'm like, whatever. My tire just fell off. I was going for the lead, this would have got me a good starting position. So I'm in the infield and I'm waving my dad down and he's standing there. He's like, where's my daughter? I don't know. You think you'd be looking that your daughter's tire just fell off. So I'm lugging this thing around. I never raced 375. My whole tire is off. So finally, our buddy comes over and he gets the cart stand over. The strap to the cart stand breaks. So now I'm carrying this 375-pound cart. Well, more than that. Actually, no, 375, sorry. And we're lugging it across. I'm pissed because where's my dad? Nowhere to be found. I don't know where he is. And I know we have to get ready for the next feature. It was just horrible. I've had a couple experiences like that. It was probably second most pissed to hitting a truck.
Well, hopefully a little bit more better luck. We are, and this is top secret news, but not so top secret news. We are looking at doing a kart race or two. I know I said After the first one, when Tim made me stand up and he thanked me in front of the crowd, I was like, I hate this. I hate attention, which is funny because we do the podcast, a popular Facebook page, the Woah
Yeah.
Nellie Modifieds. I hate being in front of the crowd. I like working behind the scenes and just making sure everything goes well. Believe it or not.
You're a little
I
weird.
understand that goes against about everything that I'm about doing online, but when it comes in person, I miss the days when I first started, and I forgot who I was telling this, but at like Thunder Mountain and stuff, I would just like sign in because the owners knew who I was and whatnot, and I'd sign in and off I went, and I didn't have to talk to anybody. Now when I
Yeah.
show up, you got 2 hours of socialization before the races start. So that was good. Hopefully 375 is the class we do again, just because I know that class struggles around here a little bit, and it's always good to try to help out those classes that have low car counts, especially for us. I'm going to mark myself in here, the us bigger folk that, we can't get skinnier to run those 325 classes or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start eating some burgers or something. That was a lot of weight we had on there.
So let's pivot. So we recently, and I've been able to kind of get you involved a little bit, and I pushed you to make your own social media marketing brand because I was kind of getting a little overwhelmed with how many requests I was getting when we announced our stuff. So KB Designs,
Yes.
what's going on?
So we're kind of in the development stage of that, and Nelly kind of got me into it, and it's something I enjoy doing. But social media marketing, we do anything from like logging to your Facebook page and doing like race day post, or maybe even we're gonna get into reels hopefully and stuff like that. Really to bring up your social media account. I know a lot of people don't really utilize social media how it should be, and the way I see it, I don't know if you guys checked out my Facebook page, but it's free advertisement. I mean, like, you can pick up a lot of sponsorships from that. I know Carpy's was interested in me the way that I market like my racing page. So I kind of want to help other racers do that. And then again, like we all know racing can sometimes, depending on who you're talking to, it's seen as a dying sport. So I feel like with bringing it to the world, it's obviously hopefully going to create more interaction and people want to get outside and, go watch the races. And I grew up doing it. So, I mean, there's different sides to it, but yes, contact me today if you're interested.
It's super cool. Honestly, it's cool to bring young people into the sport. I think it's the number one thing we've been lacking in since I got into the sport, and I've only been doing it for 6 years. And before that, it's kind of like, what the hell? Who do I talk to? How do I be a part of this? And now Kaydan is also working with the Stateline Speedway marketing people. She's been helping us out with Bradford stuff because I got in and then I was like, hey,
Yeah.
we got to strike when the iron's hot and get old KB in here and get moving on this, because honestly, some of the stuff that Kaydan does, and not to toot your own horn for you, I don't know if you even know, we talked about this on the Carpy's podcast with Derek about how unique and different your stuff is, and I think bringing that into racing and making racing cool again is definitely starting on social media, because I got back into racing due to Hunt the Front and Jonathan Joyner and all those guys who are now running a full super late model series on their out of their own. They're still racing, but I think that's a big thing, especially trying to get youth involved, because there's a large gap. There's a lot of young people and there's a lot of, not to say old people is a bad thing,
Yeah.
but our market has this big gap in the middle where come on, think of the word here. Come on, there's big marketing word. Our groups of people, demographic. Let's go. I know big words. The demographic of that, like that middle chunk, right, where racing was really popular, but no new people were coming in, and you can see it with the drivers now. There's the youth movement in our sport, including you. Being around where we have a lot of these young drivers making their way up through the ranks, and it's something to keep their eye on. And KB Designs is perfect for that because she can help do all the stuff that you're not thinking about during the week because you're trying to put your car back together.
Absolutely. I feel like another thing too people don't really realize is like not thanking sponsors. I mean, a lot of people just want to pick up the phone and not even pick up the phone, send a text or something, and kind of want that free money. But I mean, the sponsors don't really feel like they're getting something out of it. So I know a few track owners that are a little hesitant about like bringing more people in just because the track sponsors aren't being thanked. And, those are kind of the people that help put on the show and put on the shows for the fans and the drivers. So, I mean, even with that, like creating a sponsorship post goes a long ways, and they feel thankful and they're more likely to help you with your race career.
Yeah, and also that social media exposure is so big right now, right? There's a lot of people that, and not pointing any fingers, but there's a lot of people in the industry right now, there's like different companies that are kind of moving to this like digital, like traditional marketing practices are kind of becoming, oh, we don't really see any benefit out of a sign or a sticker on a race car. That
Right.
can be one part of it. But like that sticker on the race car needs to be, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z with your brand and do this, how do we make them feel like they got their value out of it? I feel there's a lot of sponsors that become one and dones in this industry because they sponsored a race car once, they felt like they didn't get anything out of it, and then we've lost another good ally in the sport because sponsors are the backbone of grassroots racing.
Right. I agree with that.
Hi everybody, Woah Nellie from the future here to do glorious ad reads for our lovely 2025 sponsors. And I'm sure this list will grow, however it is early, and we want to make sure we sponsor those who have hopped on early. Close Racing Supply has been a partner of ours since the very beginning. We've been doing the whole, Woah Nellie sponsorship program. It's getting close to race season, guys. Make sure you visit Close Racing Supply for the leading products in the industry and their own. Close Racing Supply does it all. I always say if they don't do it, you don't need it. So make sure you go visit our friends at Close Racing Supply. You don't even have to go in person. They ship nationwide, and it's always kind of crazy to me that we see these guys all over the place on different race cars. We travel a lot for the photo deal, and it's always just real amazing how far those products go. So make sure you are getting to Close Racing Supply today. Your podcast presenting sponsor is a new sponsor for us in 2025. Burnin Hollow Sauce Company's out of Buffalo, where they mix flavor and heat. It's a great balance. They are good buddies, or Brian is a good buddy of mine who runs that deal. You can order online at Burnin Hollow, no G, burninhollow.com. They are our presenting sponsor for qualifying the Burnin Hollow Hot Sauce Scorcher Award. Whoever does the quick time of the night will be given a nice award from Burnin Hollow. I wasn't a hot sauce guy when it came down to it, but I tried this stuff this past year, and I was like, man, we got to promote this stuff. It is some of the best sauce you can get. I believe there's a wide variety of heat tolerances that we can that you can choose from. I really like the I really like the milder side. As I said, I'm not a very spice guy. However, I'm a very big fan of the Blood of Heroes and Sting of the Ancients. That's their medium and hot. They also have, and they all come with all these cool names. Their mild sauce is Awaken the Dead. The Deep Inferno is their super hot, and their extra hot is Arkham Madness. So, make sure you visit those guys today. I could ramble all day about how great they are and how good. I put that stuff on everything. Man, I was putting it on pizza bagels the other day, just to show you, that it's a very wide variety of uses for the sauce. And also, they made this shirt. They made this hat that I'm wearing, the Kaydan Busch 3B hat. Good friends of ours. Back again for 2025. Back again as a Woah Nellie modified sponsor, podcast sponsor, driver of the week. just like we said for Close Racing Supply, if they don't do it, you don't need it, man. They got, when they drop their energy drinks, I'm telling you, one of the best energy drinks that you can get. From their hats, their t-shirts, their wraps, the quality. And I know we had them on the show very early on for the Woah show. The quality and the creativity between all these designs is amazing. These shirts hold up super well. I beat the ever living shit out of my stuff. And I mean, dirt tracks ain't too friendly to most of your guys' clothes. So make sure you stop in, see what Carpy can do to you or do for you, and tell them that we sent you. They love that stuff, So, man, let's get back to the show.
So, we are going to move on to the Fast 5 questions before we thank all your sponsors like it's Victory Lane and we get out of here. You weren't around when Kaydan was very early on the podcast, didn't get to do the Fast 5 questions. Now this is the Fast 5 questions 2.0 because we have adjusted it. So, we're going to start here. Who is your favorite race car driver?
Honestly,
It can be yourself.
probably my dad. No, I'm just kidding. I love him, but probably Dave Hess. I really like Dave Hess.
What's your favorite racetrack that you've either been to or raced at?
Paradise Speedway.
Rest in peace.
I know.
Hey, actually, because when you tell people about Paradise, you sum it up so good. And I've never been there. I've only watched videos. What is it like racing at Paradise?
Okay, so when I first started, I actually went out down there with the Hammonds, and me and little Andrew went out on the track for Blue Clone. We got there, and there's challengers, little bang bangers on the track doing warm-ups. I'm like, Dad, are we at the right track? Like, what's going on? I've never seen something like I was racing at Stateline Pittsfield, and I go up to this massive track. So I'm like, you know what? It's fine. So I go out there, challengers are going, and I'm in a Blue Clone, probably going, I think my tack marked like 65. I didn't even do good that race. So whoever the leader was, they're definitely kicking me and going like 70 or something. But that track is insane. I absolutely love it. I actually ran into a situation. I was new, I accidentally sent someone over the berm. So I don't even remember who it was, but they had some kind words to say to me, but that track was really cool.
I bet they remember. Post it in the comments if Kaydan wrecked you at Paradise Speedway.
Yeah, post in the comments.
Most people remember that when they get wrecked. People don't really remember wrecking somebody unless it's a good one. Not wrecking, or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people do remember when they get, God, you gotta be hauling ass when you get wrecked there.
Yeah.
Favorite racing moment?
Probably my first win, my dad. I just remember seeing my dad with his hands up and he was so excited. I think it was my first ever win. Actually, no, I had one feature win prior to that, but beginning of 2023 season. He's excited.
Yeah, if you've ever stood next to Ronnie when Kaydan's racing, it's rather intense.
Yeah.
He's about as intense as Kaydan is on the track.
Yeah. He makes me mad on the track. He finds the perfect spot. If I'm like, it'll be caution and it's like red flag, someone just flipped. He'll be like, tell me to get up there. I'm like, Dad, we're not even going in 5 cautions. Like, chill. Like, I'm gonna get the restart. Just like, let me do my thing. But he knows how to get in my head. We have our little hand signals.
What made you a fan of racing? Where you were like, I gotta do this.
Honestly, I grew up around it. When my Papa Ron died, I was younger, probably like 12, I want to say. And obviously, we still went to the tracks and stuff. And one day I learned what go-karts were, and I was like, Dad, I want to race go-karts. Like, it's not like I want you to go put me in a street stock or a late model, I want to race go-karts. So that's how I ended up getting into it, is one day my parents just got me one, and there we are now.
Name 3 things you're thankful for right now.
My family, my dogs, and my go-kart.
All right, 2 more things, and then we can wrap this bad boy up. A nice short one for once. Me and Derek talked we talked off the podcast probably longer than the actual podcast went because we love yapping.
Yeah.
Give me your elevator pitch for someone that should get into karting, because you are you are and have been a big advocate for getting people into karts, especially with the new ownership at Stateline and some of the things you've put together, which don't go unnoticed about how many people have moved from karts to the big track. How it's almost like the minor leagues around here for racing. What else you got to say? Why should people come to the kart track and buy a go-kart?
Why? Okay, elevator pitch. Okay. For one, I love feeling like a winner. Winning is good. The community is great. I don't really know if this is an elevator pitch. It gets you outside. It gets you out of the house. Why kids could start is so they're not playing video games. And they get out and do something, and then they have something to work on all week. And it's honestly a great environment, and it's always entertaining. You never know what's going to happen next. And there's development, you can meet new people. Maybe you can meet your future boss or something, So that's why.
I'll put this in, is that the growth of go-karts and how much it does feed into the big track and how much success these kart kids have. Ben Easler won his first feature in a late model, and he was in karts, a couple years ago, and then he got in with the fittingly, Russ King Racing, got the shirt on.
He's with the big
Sportsman,
dogs.
and then went to the crate deal, or the Rush late model deal, and then won his first feature at Ears last year, which I was there for. And let me tell you, as somebody who, I don't mean to say I don't get excited at the racetrack. I just don't show it because, and as nerdy as this sounds, out of 249 races, I feel like I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of the same people win. I've seen a lot of new people win that really gets you excited. But when you see a guy go from no late model experience to winning a feature at Erie's holding off Jason Jenko,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's almost as unprofessional as I got when Austin Hauser won his feature at Bradford when I almost died. Jeremy Wonderling almost ended up in my lap at Bradford due to some on-track shenanigans between him and another racer, which, it was a 3-car battle, but man, I thought I was dead, and then Austin won, and I was like, oh, okay.
All right.
That was an exciting one. Hey, before we get out of here, thank everybody that makes everything happen on the kart side.
Like
all your sponsors, everybody makes it happen.
Okay, I thought we were going super in depth, like track people. Okay, new sponsors. I want to thank Scott Stone, Ori's, Carpy's, Woah Nellie, Mike's Pro Sounds, TA Auto, Bush & Sons, Ronnie Spins Tire Tech. Ooh, I know I have more, but I think I'm forgetting them. Let's see here. Oh goodness, I can't remember, but I'll post it in the comments. I just finished up wrapping my sponsors. Sorry.
You just had the email to Carpy's because I remember you sent it to me. You're like, does this look good?
Yeah, I know. Like 3 days.
All right, Kaydan, thanks for coming on the show. I'm going to beat you in a foot race here later.
Bring it, big
I can't
dog.
wait. Yeah, we're just waiting for the... I'm going to bring a checkered flag so I can do a victory lap around the neighborhood.
You better stretch.
All right, Kaydan Bush on the Woah Show. Thanks for coming.
All right, thanks for having me. See you soon.
Race fans, we encourage you to join us at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway for the Pot of Gold 2 this Saturday, March 15th. The Fast on Dirt 410 Sprint Car Series join the Super Late Models and the Crown Vic Northeast Series in kicking off the 2025 racing season right here in Western Pennsylvania. This St. Patrick's Day weekend event has it all. Best Irish dress contests, Irish food, green alcohol, bagpipes, and even a wheelbarrow race at intermission. It's not just a race, it's a party. Tickets and pricing are available now at ppms.com. Experience Dirt's Monster Half Mile.